Thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video.
Oh, it's absolute carnage, look. Me and Ian, by the way, we've got a couple of special guests, we'll get onto them in a minute, but look at this view down here. Back towards Loch Maree, we've got a little bit of snow up there. We've had rainbows, the light's been incredible. You saw them horrible conditions and that was, I swear to you, 60 seconds ago. We came out of it and then boom, this incredible vista down there. So I'll show you what I've been doing. I was like hiding behind the window like this because the conditions were basically coming straight into the lens, framing up the composition like that, even trying to focus and then just going, grabbing the shot and then coming back. I mean, it's not quite as bad now, but that was worth, I'll show you the state of it. We just pulled the van into here, man. Absolutely ragged it in. But yeah, hopefully worth the shot. We'll catch up with a couple of special guests next. Carnage! Yeah. Alright, so welcome back to the channel. Ladies and gents, the weather is exactly the same as when myself and Ian pulled over earlier on. We've also got with us today a couple of big names. We're meeting up again. We've got Adam Gibbs and Paul Thompson, buzzing for today's photo shoot actually. And as always, I'll stick everybody's like YouTube's in the video description below. But yeah, I've actually never been to this part of Torridon before, and Adam and Paul, I think, have been here a few times, and it looks quality. So yeah, buzzing for it. So as you can see, we're just heading a bit further up this kind of forest path and just exploring really. It's fantastic. And look at the light. It's just wonderful. And let me just give you a few little spins around. We've got snow-capped mountains up there, clouds. We've got blue sky up there, which is where all that weather's coming from. So fingers crossed, at least for a little while, this light sticks around. So right, I'm going to actually sort of reluctantly leave the lads behind just for a while because I've walked past, remember to see right over there, just a few single Scots pine trees dotted around, and then, I mean, look, I'll spin you around again, got all these mountains off there, so perhaps you can understand. I feel a bit uncomfortable walking past them when I'm feeling like there's potentially a shot up there. In fact, Adam sort of just mentioned it to me then. He said it's a good little spot, so yeah, I am sort of stealing his idea a little bit, so yeah, we'll have to go with it, but yeah, I can't ignore it, I can't ignore it. Oh my gosh, that is tough going stuff, man. Trudging through this, but I don't want to get ahead of myself, but dare I say, already it's looking like it might be worth it. See the lights in and out. This is why I'm sort of legging it up here, because it's one of the, I mean, I should be getting the shot now, not rambling, but I need a composition. It's one of them where I could easily say, oh, I'll just jump up there on the way back, but we might not get the light, you know. So at this stage, I'm just thinking, background sorted, beautiful snowy mountains. Let's just try and find 1, 2, 3, 4, however many of these pine trees. Try and get them, you know, clean and tidy in the foreground as best I can. I quite like this one on its own here. It's just a case of stopping, wandering around and, you know, enjoying trying to compose a shot. Epic, man.
So the light was changing, it was in and out of the clouds, conditions were fantastic actually, and the camera was also in and out of the bag as well. And it just felt like there had to be a good photograph in this location.
Oh my gosh, I'm shattered, man. This is carnage, this terrain, but oh, look at this, I'm going off my nut here. So the few bit further, this is a chaotic video already, but I am like a kid in a sweet shop. Look at this. So the little bunch of trees that I was trying to photograph at first when we last chat, they were a little bit too messy. It was carnage in the foreground. And I assume this is what Adam meant. Look at this. Perfectly placed, it seems, at the minute. So my job now is, I mean, same again. Background sorted. I'm just going to have to wander around in amongst these pines, try and find a section of them, a collection of them, or one of them that goes really well with the background, you know. Easier said than done, but a lot of fun. Wow, look at this, man. Oh, there we go. I was just about to say to you, there's two main problems with this composition. I mean, firstly, I'll talk about the composition itself. We've got 5 of these Scots pine. Each tree has got its own character. I mean, the one on the left here has got no pine needles on it, it's quite bare. Then there's a bigger one, and then all these 3 sort of uniformed. It's just absolutely fantastic. Whoa, the wind. So, 2 problems. Firstly, is how I order them. I'm having to move left, right, up and down all over the place to make sure there's little gaps in between all of the branches. And then secondly, as always, the light. You can see at the minute, the light is on the cliffs in the background. But what I want is a splash of light on these trees in the foreground. And then ideally, no light in the background. And it's just going to give us some nice separation. But, I mean, look, this looks like it's moving this way now. And, oh, the sun's like in and out of the clouds. Oh, I'll tell you what, cheers for the recommendation, Adam. Oh, there we go, we've got the light. Look at this. Oh, you little stunner. I think we've got Ian just down here. Tell you what, we might as well go the whole hog and see if he's got any compositions that I can copy as well. Goodness me. Right, so it was Ian, the little dot off in the distance. We were just having a little bit of a chat. I think he's been grabbing what may look like a fairly obvious composition, but he was saying the light that he had was absolutely incredible. I don't see how that's not going to be a quality photograph. That is a beautiful scene. But yeah, of course, if you want to see how Ian took the image, go and watch his video. Like, that is, look at it. That's absolutely unreal. I'll tell you what, I'm not going to take this photograph because then I've copied Adam, then I'll copy Ian, so I'll perhaps go and find some of my own, you know. Wow. So, you know what, I feel like this is one of them mad chaotic videos that I have from time to time, or mad chaotic photo shoots, but I mean, it just happens, and that's the premise of what I want to share on this channel, is just the joy of being out with your camera and not knowing what's going to happen. Just get stuck in, man. Honestly, you saw the weather at the start of the video. It was horrendous, grim. Now, I'm going to go and catch up with Adam and Paul, catch my breath. As I do, I'd love to send them a huge thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. So yeah, if you've never heard of Squarespace, they're a wonderful all-in-one platform that you can use to build your very own website. My own website's through Squarespace. I was with them since, you know, before I was sponsored by them, and I'm so proud of it. And for me, the best thing about building a website through Squarespace is that it is so easy. They've got loads of professional, really polished looking templates that you can use to get yourself started. Don't be scared. With Squarespace, it's so easy. You add a few bits of text, some images, and before you know it, you'll have your website up and running, and it'll look fantastic. Now, if like me, you'd like to sell stuff through your Squarespace website, then you can do that as well. They've got plenty of e-commerce packages, and yeah, I use it to sell my prints. I advertise my one-to-one workshops on there, calendars, ebooks, all sorts, and I wouldn't be able to run my business without it. And last but certainly not least, they've got fantastic award-winning customer service as well. So if you're ever having some struggles, some difficulties, as you're going through that website building process, it is so easy. And look, the main thing that I want to get across is website building. You know, building your own website. It sounds scary and intimidating, but trust me, it's so easy through Squarespace. So if it's a little bit of a dream that you've got, give it a go. On top of that, If you go to squarespace.com/Henry Turner, you'll get a 14-day free trial, or use the link in the video description below. So give it a go, you know, you've got nothing to lose. If you don't like it after the free trial, move on. If you do like it, make sure to use the offer code Henry Turner at checkout to get a fantastic 10% off your first purchase. Oh, we are buzzing. We are buzzing. Look, cascades, little waterfall, snowy mountains, moody clouds. I mean, all that's missing here for now is light, but you've seen yourselves on this adventure. I'm forgetting that I'm out with other people, man. I'm just losing my head. This is incredible. Oh, let's see if we can make something of this now. Look, absolutely class. So what I'm going to do here, pretty much without even thinking about it, for right or for wrong, is to just stick the wide angle lens on pretty much straight away, man. And it just feels like the sort of location where I'm going to want to get close down to some of these cascades in the foreground. Keep it simple, mountains in the background. I mean, that's what it's all about for me. Grand vistas, bit of foreground. Oh man, it's just such a treat to be here. Wow, ladies and gents, so I don't know if you can hear me very well, but I'm down low. We're basically a quarter of the way into this river, just trying to get something to complement that incredible background there, the snowy mountains. So I'm working, of course, with the wide angle lens here, if it's not proper obvious, and 7mm, 1/4 of a second, and I've stuck the OM5 into the 4-stop sort of digital neutral density filter mode, whatever you want to call it. So f7.1, we're getting that all important 1/4 of a second. And what you've got to remember about the Micro Four Thirds is that, you know, the aperture's kind of double or half, whichever way you look at it. It's f7.1 on a full frame would be around about f14. So, you know, we're really stopping down here. And yeah, the idea, just get really close to these cascades with the wide angle lens, stick them nicely down in the foreground, and then we got the beautiful snowy mountain off there in the background. Oh, top draw! Oh, so look at this. Just left my bag down here, dumped on the deck. Oh, right, I haven't seen Adam and Paul in freaking ages. Let's go and catch up. I've got a bit of a question for Adam, actually. Hello, gents.
How's it going?
Quick question, Adam.
Yeah.
Yesterday, you showed us a photograph of like a waterfall on your phone.
Yeah.
Is that further up here, is it?
No, it's right here.
Oh, is that the one? Oh. Might have to get that shot.
Better light.
Yeah, I suppose it is actually, yeah. I'm going to copy Adam's and get that. And Paul's apparently, look. Absolute, just horrible photographer this stuff. So I've struggled down, man. I've struggled down, dumped my bag up there again. It's dodgy. Like, I should say, to be fair, if you ever come here, be careful. It's one of them where, I mean, look, Paul's down there. Can you see the orange? Maybe just seen Ian. Like, you get seduced in. You get seduced into all this horrendous terrain. But I mean, look, I've got to photograph this. I've just got to copy Adam Gibbs. That's what this is all about. I don't care if the image is nice, as long as I get one. No, I'm joking. I'm going to try my best to make it my own, but it's hardly original, is it? Right, I've got a bit of an idea. So as I'm walking here, I'll show you what I'm going to do, because most of it at this stage is probably very obvious. You know, I want our mate down here in the foreground. I like that this stream, you know, I'd rather him be there. It takes us up very slightly to these big boys back here. Look at the clouds, ladies and gents. But the main thing I'm trying to do here, in terms of perspective, I mean, you know, I've not even got my camera out. This tree, I want him in the middle there, just in the middle where the two mountains dip. That's all. And then I'm probably going to have this as a square crop. I don't know if I just said that, but yeah, I think this is going to suit it really well. Also, as has been the case all day, the weather conditions are changing again. We've started getting a little bit of rain, and this scene here, look at that. Oh mate, this is right down my street. Oh, cheers Adam, again. Quality, mate. So, moody, gloomy. We haven't got any light, which is a little bit of a shame. I might stick it out for 5 minutes in case we get any bursts up there on the mountains. But I mean, even without the light for me, I really like this. Gloomy sky, I've got to be really careful that I don't overexpose that. And once again, just using the digital neutral density filters, around about 1/4 of a second. Oh, I mean, come on, look, a big patch up there of potential light that's going to blast through. Right, I'm going to give it 5 minutes, study it like a cabbage or a carrot. Hopefully we get a nice little burst, that will be mega.
So technically this was actually quite a difficult photograph. You can see here I took a quick exposure and then a longer exposure, and the quick exposure really was just to freeze the movement in that tree that you can see there, but while still retaining that beautiful long exposure effect of the water. I was quite happy with this shot in the end.
Paul got the waterfall as well.
I think Ian just got a beast. I haven't seen Paul's images yet. I think Ian just got, he just showed me. You must go watch his video. I only saw it on the back of his camera and it looked class. Apparently Paul's got it as well. Remember, the channel's down in the video description, but oh, I don't know if you've seen, I don't know if I showed you, but there was a rainbow for a brief second, and oh, Ian's shot is smart, man, with the mountain. Right, whatever next. That's what it's been like though, hasn't it? It's kind of, I keep getting ready to go, and then the light's completely different.
Just watch it and you can see the cloud coming in this way and you know it's going to happen. Oh man, it's like you've taken that twice.
So yeah, as we moved on, the light was still changing so much, and we went back to the vans for a little bit of a chill, and then we were off just to explore around a little bit in the vans, and we had to pull over to try and photograph these conditions. There was rainstorms passing through, and I got this image here. I was so happy with it. Probably my favourite one of the day, to be honest. And I love the contrast of those orange tones on the right hand side as the light is streaming in, and those kind of blue tones on the far left hand side. Another image, to be honest, that I was really happy with. Oh, so it has, it's got quite grim outside. Myself and Ian just taking refuge in the van. Actually, as are Adam and Paul. Through there in Paul's van. So, yeah, I think we're going to leave it, because as amazing as it's been, it's tough going, being out in those sorts of conditions, but I mean, what a day. It's been amazing. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. These wonderful three gents. Do check out their YouTube channels, as always, in the description below. And yeah, cheers for your support. See you on the next adventure. Out.